Right then, lads, welcome back to Kossi's Arsenal podcast and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're gonna be discussing much about Mikel Arteta's press conference, the team news, and some changes that we could see against Newcastle. Of course, it's an early kickoff tomorrow on Saturday. We are the first two clubs that are going to be playing, and that means that if we win this game, we have high chances of closing the gap between us and the clubs in the top four. That is what we want: the consistency, the bouncing back, the resilience, and much more. So obviously, this is a big game in Mikel Arteta's campaign this season and Arsenal's campaign as well this season. So the confirmed team news have already come out. Mikel Arteta's press conference, obviously, there has also come out, and of course, we're gonna be knowing who is gonna start, who is going to play. Martinelli, Mikel Arteta, of course, came out and said that he's like a Cristiano Ronaldo, a young Cristiano Ronaldo. He wants game time. Many people asking about him. Maybe we could see Gabriel Martinelli getting game time in tomorrow's game. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you press a like, subscribe, and of course, let's get to it. Because of course, Mikel Arteta was speaking about Arsenal and of course the Newcastle game yesterday on Thursday, and he spoke about a couple of things. First and foremost, he spoke about Wenger's return, and he said, I talked to him when we went to see the film. Hopefully we can bring him close. He will have a great time around the club. He also said, at the moment I cannot tell you now, but he would be of great help to the club. Things take time and we'll be delighted to have him. Of course, it's been a whole week, around 2 weeks, guys. Of course, us speaking about Wenger coming back, and of course, all the talk, Arsene Wenger coming back in a special role. Arsenal, many people saying they do not want him, and of course, a couple of other fans like me thinking that, look, he's better than Vinay, he's better than all the technical team at Arsenal, especially look at the likes of Vinay, look at the likes of, Radic. I feel like he's better than them, and if we got Wenger back, maybe we could have footballing minds, and maybe he could serve the same position Sir Alexander Ferguson serves there at Manchester United. Of course, Mikel Arteta says he wants him back. At the moment, he can't confirm whether he's gonna come back or no, but what he knows that if Mikel Arteta, if Arsene Wenger comes back around the squad, we might actually benefit in a better way than you can expect. On Alexandre Lacazette's contract, he was asked still about the same question. He was asked in the Liverpool press conference, and he said that's a position that is happening more and more in football. He's not the only one. I spoke with him on how to handle the situation in the best way possible. Of course, we know at the moment that Alexandre Lacazette's contract runs down in the summer. He doesn't want to stay, honestly. He wants a long-term contract. That is the only excuse he has. Arsenal do want to give him a short-term contract. It looks like our needs and desires and positions are really parallel at the same point. Now, for me, my opinion has never changed about Alexandre Lacazette. Keep him until the end of the summer and let him go in the in the summer for free. I wanted to sell him in the summer. It never happened. Arsenal decided to keep him there. They never found a perfect striker. Lautaro Martinez didn't work out, and a couple of other strikers we wanted to sign. Things actually didn't go our way, and Lacazette will have to leave. Of course, the rumor is Mikel Arteta is interested and loves the player. He's much loving what he's doing in training and on the pitch and in the dressing room. He would love to keep him for at least another year or 2 years, but doesn't really look like he's gonna stay. Of course, reports coming in from Spain indicate that the player is much interested in going to Atletico Madrid rather than staying at Arsenal, where we cannot actually offer him a long-term contract. On the Newcastle takeover, the manager said they can't say much. We have the regulators to decide on who can own the club. They have fulfilled the criteria, and therefore they can have Newcastle Football Club. Obviously, guys, to be straightforward, this is really damaging football. Yes, as an Arsenal fan, it's a hypocrite of me to say that it is damaging football, because we have always wanted the Qatar takeover. We have always wanted Daniel Ek to buy Arsenal. We have always wanted the big money powers to buy Arsenal. But of course, it does damage football in some way. It does damage football, to some level. Manchester City, Chelsea, PSG, Manchester United, now Newcastle. It's going to be buying the title. It's always going to be buying the title, and maybe in the next 2-3 years Arsenal will not have the strength to beat Newcastle, and that's why you have to beat them in this game. Maybe it could be the last time we beat them. Look, they have a new manager, they have a new system in place. They're trying to revamp things. Maybe in that position, in that transition stage, that is when we can beat them. But of course, about the takeover, it's really scary. It's big competition to Arsenal. We're already fighting with West Ham, Leicester City, and now the likes of Brentford and Newcastle have also started to show their power. It's a big scare for Arsenal, especially as a club that is not going to invest loads and lots of money at once. Of course, he spoke about the importance of wing backs in modern football and in the game. He said the fact that you have players in your backline that can contribute to key moments is important. We have a few of them. That's my problem, guys. That's a very big problem with me and Arsenal Football Club, and the way we set up as under Mikel Arteta. I love Mikel. I love the way he sets up the team these days. The 4-2, the 4-4-2, or the 4-4-1-1. That's a good formation. I feel like he's bringing in results. He's actually doing well. But my problem there is with our fullbacks. Nuno Tavares, very good one, but a very young player. And of course, you can see he was really exposed against Liverpool. You can't trust him game in, game out. Kieran Tierney should be the player that actually does that. And of course, Ben White also is one of those players that can actually give you that little ball progression, that little enthusiasm going forward. But of course, it's not enough. You can look at Manchester City, 2 fullbacks really doing well in terms of flying. You can look at Liverpool, Smith and Arnold as well flying. You can look at Manchester United. Shaw is on a very good run, as well as Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Obviously Bissaka is a liability, but there, look, we need our fullbacks to be flying. Tomiyasu is so rigid, and obviously Kieran Tierney, when he comes back, I hope he actually gets his form he was on last season, because this season he's been a little bit disappointing. But fullbacks in modern football, there is no question there. It's a very big plus if you have them. Willock on the return, Mikel Arteta said it would be really nice. We all love Joe. It was a difficult decision to let him go, but he knows the reception he is going to get. Obviously, guys, I'm one of those people who have always said Willock, not Arsenal standard. Good maybe for Newcastle, good for West Ham, good for Everton. But for me, Arsenal Football Club, yes, we need midfielders. We need brilliant midfielders. We need progressive midfielders. I don't see Joe Willock as one of those players that are really going to be missed at Arsenal. But of course, there are Mikel Arteta giving the love to the young Englishman, saying it would be really nice to see Joe Willock come back. And of course, it was a difficult decision for Arsenal to let him go. Look, I don't know how difficult it was, but it should be easy to let players like Eddie Nketiah go and Joe Willock, because the standards of Arsenal Football Club and the game time that such people and such players do need actually is not available. On the club incident in the previous game, he said, "I will always defend my club and my players on the pitch," and that is what actually happened when we had that outburst with Jurgen Klopp. On signing Jack Wilshere back at the side, he said, "We know the qualities that Jack Wilshere has." Now, of course, guys, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this, but when Mikel Arteta starts speaking about things in that way, when he starts hiding the words in the lines, Arsenal, it is reported that Jack Wilshere will sign a short-term contract until the end of the season, with the likes of Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka are out in the January transfer window. Let me know of your thoughts there in the comments below. Do you need Jack Wilshere back? Do you think we should get Jack Wilshere back? Because for me, again, guys, I feel like if we could go for a player like Renato, if we could go for a player like maybe Arthur Melo on loan, if we could go for a player like maybe Kulusevski just on loan, maybe Dennis Zakaria on a free, maybe for £15 million. I feel like it would make more sense. But Jack Wilshere there, the king of injuries, the king of the sick bay. What if you sign him and then he gets injured? It's a big risk. Yes, we know the qualities that Jack Wilshere has. Of course, if Jack actually came back in the squad, you never know. We could have that kind of progressive midfielder that we are asking for, that kind of player that actually drifts forward, that kind of player that actually breaks through the lines, and the kind of player that is ready to drive the ball forward. But my question is, can he keep fit? Can we get Jack Wilshere to keep fit all the season? or half a season. That's the big problem. On facing Newcastle, he said it's the new game. They have a new manager. The momentum they're building is also different. The new manager has a new coaching staff, and we expect a very, very different Newcastle. Obviously, guys, like I said in my predicted lineup, Eddie Howe has not actually managed a game on the touchline for Newcastle. There, his first game, he was actually confirmed with COVID-19, so he couldn't actually feature in that game. He couldn't actually come on the touchline. This is going to be his first game on the touchline, and obviously we are really, really, really lucky or unlucky, if you want to put it that way, because Eddie Howe will be managing his first game for Newcastle on the touchline against Arsenal, and Ralf Rangnick for Manchester United there will be managing his first game against Arsenal as well. So 2 weekends back to back, two new managers. That could be an advantage, and it could be a disadvantage as well, because guys, when old teams get new managers, they always feel that power, they always feel that revamp. And obviously Newcastle, we saw them against Brentford. 3-3 was the final score. I felt like they really opened themselves against Brentford. Brentford score goals. That's one thing we can actually guarantee in the league. They score goals almost in every game. Of course, we suffered against them in the first game of the season. 2-0 was the final score when they beat us, but since then they have gone ahead to score goals. 3 against Liverpool, 3 against Newcastle, 2 against Arsenal, and so many other games. They have come on top of those games, trying to get results and trying to get actually as many goals as possible. So Newcastle, the new management, I don't think it should be a problem. We should be able to beat them, get 3 points, and move on. It's at the Emirates. It's an early kickoff. We need to win that one. Bouncing back against Liverpool, on the importance of bouncing back against Liverpool, he said after that defeat, you need to win. And obviously, guys, he's absolutely right. There are times when you need to win, but after a defeat, after a 4-0 defeat, we saw it against Manchester United. They lost 5 against Liverpool. They lost 4 against Leicester City, and they were completely devastated. Watford smashing them 4. Obviously, you can remember, guys, the results that happened against Manchester City. So we need to bounce back. We don't need to keep a string of losses. We don't need to keep a string of bad performances. We need to forget that one. We need to forget that one performance and move forward. The one bad performance does not take away the 10 good run of games that we have actually had. So on bouncing back, he said that's really positive, and I think it's important to win a game after a loss. On Xhaka's return, so he says hopefully he's gonna come back sooner than expected. He's in a very, very good place. I hope we can have him back before the end of the year. That is according to Mikel Arteta. On any injury updates apart from Kolasinac and Xhaka, he said at the moment we do not have any news. It is very, very clear. Everyone is fine so far, and if there is any update, it will be coming up in the last moments before we start the game. Tomorrow at 3:30 p.m., that is East African Standard Time, we'll be taking on Newcastle. That is the confirmed news, and Mikel Arteta's press conference there, read to you live from football.london, the blog that actually brings you all the latest in terms of Arsenal. But if you want to watch videos, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the like button. I'll speak to you tomorrow. 1 hour, exactly 1 hour before the game.